Okay, so this episode, as the title implies, is probably going to get me killed, but it's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And you're gonna have to excuse me because I'm gonna have to be relatively quiet while recording this because it is 2:19 in the morning and I don't want to wake anybody up. But people, especially in recent years, have been experimenting with the idea of many genders and sexualities and whatever they wish to identify as. And I don't hate a lot of them. Like, I don't know, there are some that I want to point out, which I'm going to do in this very episode, but I don't hate the idea of wishing to identify as whatever you want. But there were just a couple that I wanted to talk about that caught my eye. I was having a conversation with somebody not that long ago, and we were talking about this, and I looked it up as a joke, and there was one that caught my eye that I wanted to point out a little bit. I wrote down a couple of them, and like I said, if you don't want to hear me talk about this, then just click off now. But anyway, the first one is this is, and I want to point out, these are actual things. None of these are fake. I didn't make up any of these for the sake of the video. These are all real. These are all things that people have identified as. Number one is a xenogender. Xeno gender. Now, what this classifies as is, quote, a person who experiences gender in a way that is difficult to understand. What? Are you fucking serious? Experiences gender in a way that is difficult to understand. What the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean? I want to point out also that I am a person who still believes that you are either a girl or a guy. There's no, like, in between. The only time that there is any difference is if you're transgender. But in the end, even if you switched over, you're still either a male or a female. That is just the way I look at it. So, a person who experiences gender in a way that is difficult to understand. Like, seriously, what the hell does that even mean? Somebody explain this to me, please. I don't understand this. This is another one that's really popular. It's the non-binary people. So this also kind of goes into the fact that I have said before that I believe that you're either male or female. It's one or the other. And the official definition for non-binary is, quote, a person who is not exclusively male or female and may identify with neither, both, a third, or a gender that changes over time. I have multiple issues with this. And by the way, I want to point out, if you identify as any of these, cool, like, that's your choice, but like, why? So, okay, let's look at this. A person who is not exclusively male or female. That shouldn't be possible, but whatever. This is the part where I think it gets stupid. And may identify with neither, both genders at the same time somehow, a third gender which isn't even fucking possible, or a gender that changes over time. What? How do you identify as a male and a female at the same time? If you have a penis and balls, you're a dude. If you have a vagina, you're a female. Like, this should not be that hard. Again, transgender is fine because you're switching and it's your choice. But even if you're male to female or female to male, like, at the end of the day, you're still a male or female. It's just you changed from what one of the two you were initially. And cisgender male and female is also fine, because that literally just is a classification for if someone is a female now, but they're a cisgender male, that means they were assigned male at birth. That means they were born a dude and they were like, you know what? I didn't want to be a dude. I don't want to be a dude, so I'm going to be a female. That's fine. Like, that's your choice and you're allowed to do that. But how do you identify as neither a male or female? How do you identify as both of them at the same time? What third gender do you identify as? And how does it change over time? Do you just decide that one day you're a guy and one day you're a girl? Like, this makes no sense to me. Somebody please make this make sense. And I'm just going to run through this one quick because there's another one I wrote down. Omnigender. A person who experiences or has every gender. I am not kidding you. I have a link here to an article on helpfulprofessor.com from 2024, which I'm recording this on December 18th, 2024. 81 types of genders and gender identities, A to Z. You didn't mishear me. 80 motherfucking 1. 81. So let's look at this, shall we? I am literally just winging this script. I don't have a script for this at all. I am winging this straight off the top of my head. So let's read this article, shall we? We live in a world where gender identity is increasingly considered a cultural construct and fluid concept. Shouldn't be. And in fact, if we move beyond a Eurocentric view of gender, cultural ideas about diversity of genders have existed across cultures for as long as humans have existed. So here, how many genders are there? There are at least 80 ways to describe gender. That's not to say there are 80 different genders, but there are at least 80 different cultural terms to describe gender constructs. That is also false, but let's entertain the idea. So let's start at the top of the list. We're not going to go through all 80 because then we'd be here forever, but I'm just going to pick out a random few. So the first one is occult or Myanmar. Let's see what this says. Occult is a gender from the Buddhist people of Myanmar. It describes people who are assigned male at birth, who have been possessed by a female spirit god named Mangadon, who has imparted femininity on them. I swear to God, on my life, I am not making this up. It describes people who are assigned male at birth who have been possessed by a female god who has put femininity on them. How stupid do you have to be to actually take this shit seriously? I'm genuinely appalled at the fact that people are this stupid. Okay, let's fix this. It describes people who are assigned male at birth. Done. Should just end right there. No possessing female spirit, no impartial femininity, nothing. Just here. Here's one. AFAB. It stands for assigned female at birth. That's fine. That is fine. Whatever, like whatever. Agender. Agendered people do not have a gender. They are considered genderless or gender-free and do not fit on a masculine-feminine spectrum. You're full of shit. Look down at what's between your legs. If it's a giant gaping hole, you're a female. If it's two hanging things and one long hanging thing, you're a guy. Like, I don't understand what's so hard to fathom about this. They are considered genderless. Fucking how? Fucking how? What? I'm trying so hard to keep quiet because I'm right next to someone who's sleeping and I don't want to be disrespectful, but like, are you kidding me? And there's this one, aliagender. Aliagendered people are neither male, female, nor agendered. They are people who, get this, they are people who experience a gender identity that does not fit on the masculine-feminine spectrum, but nonetheless feel a gendered identity. Whoever is making these needs to be shot publicly for their sins. Again, people who listen to this are going to hate me, but this is my opinion. This is so stupid. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. There's this one. Apora-gendered people are those who do not identify with any specific gender. They may feel that they have no gender, or that their gender is undefined. This can be due to a variety of reasons, such as feeling like one does not fit into any existing gender categories. I'm getting so fucking mind-boggled that I can't even read. Or feeling like all existing gender categories are equally valid and none stand out as feeling more right than the others. Number one, Becky, put your fucking Starbucks Frappuccino down and listen for a second. Because I'm about to tell you some truth. If you truly feel like no gender is right over the other, and keep in mind, there's only two genders, male and female. So if you're sitting here saying, okay, men and women are equal, right? That's something that people have been pushing for a while. Men and women are equal. Cool. So why does it matter which one you are? Be a male or be a female. Like, what does it matter? Why do you need to create these bullshit fake categories because of your political and social views? Maybe not political, but your social construct views. I don't understand. This is the last one I'm going to do from this article, but this is a real thing. Bakla. Bakla are people from the Philippines who are effeminate biological men who dress and behave in ways traditionally associated with women. They are often seen as a third gender. What? Look at this, look at this, look at this. People from the Philippines who are effeminate biological men. Boom, there's your answer. You don't need anything else. You don't need a third gender, and you don't even need the rest of that description. They are men. That is one of the two genders. They just act effeminate. There are effeminate men in the world, but they're still men. This makes no sense. Again, this is not fake. I swear there is an actual article that I'm reading. If you want to look it up, it's helpfulprofessor.com/types of genders list, and it's absolutely mind-boggling how stupid people are. The other thing I wanted to read from some of my notes is, okay, asexual and pansexuals, correct? Those are two things, unfortunately. Asexual, defined scientifically, means you do not need another partner to reproduce. And that humans are quite literally not asexuals, and it is quite literally impossible for humans to be asexuals. It is quite literally undoable because humans cannot reproduce by themselves. They need a male and a female to reproduce. That is how we work. But asexuality is also defined as someone who experiences little to no sexual attraction. That's not a gender. Like, that's just, you're not horny. Like, I don't understand. This actually hurts my brain. And another one, pansexual, means basically means without even looking at it, you can have an attraction to quite literally anybody. Do you know what that means? You're bisexual. You can be attracted to male or female. And another thing that I don't get is that asexuals can be attracted to pansexuals when asexuals are quite literally defined as having no sexual attraction. And again, this hurts my brain. Again, another one that I was going to talk about, I'm just going to run through these because I've already been ranting for too long, is autosexual, which is a person who is sexually attracted to themselves. I'm going to find the person who invented that and slap them. And this is a specific thing that's mentioned in the definition. I quote, someone's desire to engage in sexual behavior such as masturbation does not determine whether they are autosexual or not. Biromantic, people who experience romantic attraction but not sexual attraction to people of more than one gender. How do you experience romantic attraction but not sexual attraction? We as humans have like 3 goals max. That is to fuck, to reproduce, and to keep our species alive. One of the 3 main goals of humanity is to have sex. And I don't understand how you can just say, oh, I like this person, but I don't want to be inside him, or I don't want to ride him, or whatever. Like, I don't get it. And the last one I'm going to talk about is cupiosexual. people who experience romantic attraction but not sexual attraction to people of more than one gender. Now you might be thinking, that is quite literally what you just read. I know. They are defined as the same thing. And I don't understand it. There's another one by healthline.com called 47 terms that describe sexual attraction, behavior, and orientation. There are 47. 47. Okay, I've been ranting for way too long, so I'm gonna end this here, but like, there are a lot of things online that make no sense to me, but this will forever be something that is pointless to me. And now, to be honest, I'm going to sit here and wait because I can already hear the masses marching to my door, ready to defend themselves and claim that they are somehow not any gender and that they are just a fucking robot. So, until the next one.